Hi, Timothy Unkert here. In this video, we are going to multiply polynomials together. So you see in problem 1, I have this binomial x plus 3, so binomial, two terms, multiplied by a trinomial x squared plus 6x plus 8, that's three terms. What I like to do to multiply these together is to use what I call a Punnett rectangle. So I'm going to make this rectangle here. Let's try and draw it well. Okay. And I'm going to put x plus 3 on top. And I'm going to multiply that by x squared plus 6x plus 8. Okay, so I'm going to, where each term meets each other in one of these columns here, I'm going to multiply them together. So when x squared meets x, I'll multiply those together. That'll give me x cubed. X squared times 3 is going to be 3x squared. X times 6x is 6x squared. I should have made these a little bit larger. And 6x times 3 is 18x. Okay, and then we have x times 8, that's 8x. And 8 times 3 is 24. It's a little bit hard to draw with the mouse here, but so now what I do is I take each of these. So I look at x cubed. I see, is there any term like x cubed? And there's not, because it has an exponent of 3. These have exponents of 2. Even though I don't write the 1 next to the x, these have exponents of 1. And this doesn't even have a variable with it. So I'm going to write this as x cubed. And what I like to do is, when I do a lot of these, I like to cross them off as I go. So let's change color here, and we'll just cross that off. And then next, we're looking at 3x squared. Well, 6x squared is like 3x squared, so I'm going to write plus 9x squared. Okay, and now that I've used both of those, I will cross those off. Okay, then I have 18x. Now look, what's like 18x? Well, 8x is like 18x, so if I add those two together, 18 plus 8 is 26x. Let me write that a little bit better. That didn't come out that well. So plus 26x. And then I can cross those off. And then we have just plus 24 there. Okay, so that's that first one. It kind of merged into our second one there. That's our first one. Let's look at the second one. We're multiplying in the second one. We are multiplying x minus 7 times x squared minus 6x plus 9. So again, I'm going to draw a Punnett rectangle. Let's make it a little bit larger this time. So I have x plus a negative 7, so minus 7 here. And I have x squared plus a negative 6x plus 9. So if I do x squared times x, I get x cubed. X squared times negative 7, I get minus 7x squared. X times negative 6, I get minus 6x squared. Negative 6x times negative 7, I get a positive 42x. x times 9, I get 9x. And 9 times negative 7, I get negative 63. Okay, so now I'm going to write this out and combine like terms. So I've got x cubed. And we'll cross off as we go. So that's not like anything else. Then I've got this minus 7x squared plus a negative 6x squared. That's going to give me a negative 13x squared, or just minus 13x squared. And we'll cross these off. Okay. Now we got this 42x. That's like 9x, so I can add those two together to get 51x. And we'll cross those off. And finally, we have minus 63 at the end there. And we'll cross that one off. And we've got everything crossed off. So we know our solution is x cubed minus 13x squared plus 51x minus 63. All right, let's try one more. This time we have x squared minus 9 times x squared plus 5x plus 6. So let me draw out my Punnett rectangle. So we've got x squared plus negative 9 times x squared plus 5x plus 6. So if I do x squared times x squared, I actually get x to the 4th power. We add our exponents. If I do x squared times negative 9, I get a negative 9x squared. If I do x squared times 5x, I get 5x cubed. If I do 5x times negative 9, I get negative 45x. And if I do 6 times x squared, I get 6x squared. If I do 6 times negative 9, I get negative 54. Okay, so now we got to see, what do we have that's like one another? So first off, I'll start with x to the 4th. Nothing like x to the 4th. Okay, so then I go here, I can cross off x to the 4th. Now I've got x squared over here, but my next highest power is 5x cubed. So I'm going to go with that. And I don't have anything like 5x cubed, so I'll just put plus 5x cubed. Okay, and then I'll cross that off. Next up, I have a negative 9x squared, and that can add with 6x squared to give minus or plus a negative 3x squared, so minus 3x squared. Okay, and we'll cross those off. And then I've got minus 45x. We'll cross that off. And then finally, we've got minus 54. And we'll cross that off, and now we know that we are done. That's our solution. Hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Bye. Hope to see you in the next one.